Hey, I'm Decathlon Gamer, and welcome back to PCM23 Lions episode 28. Last objective of the year, or at least until the sponsor signing period. Österreich Tour was not on the calendar last year. In fact, it's the only different sponsor objective on the calendar from last season. 3 stars, so it's a big one, and it's the last chance to fail, because right now we are succeeding. As in this case, last year we came up just short of the super success. This year, we are over the mark right now. In fact, after our recent success, we're looking at about a 92 to 93%, and the cutoff's 85. We've got a little bit of a cushion here. We may succeed even if we fail. But if we succeed, even then, we've already seen this season, last season, due to popularity of riders, we've seen decreases even with succeeding. But with a success, with a stage win, we are not going to drop 8%. We're going to hang on if we win a stage. So that's going to be the key going forward here, is to get a stage win here at the Österreich Tour to assure a super success for the first time within this series. This is going to be a difficult task. A lot of the stages are punchy, at least on profile, on paper. And of those, there are 9 riders in this field with either a 78, 79, or 80 base hills rating. Our best is a 74. So we are massively behind, especially when you throw in the extra 3 or 4 points for difficulty, bonus wise. So we're over 10 points behind anybody else here. So throwing somebody in the breakaway was a useful thing that has really not gone well. The pace is not bad right now, but throughout the stage up until recently, the pace had been quite bad. So Zerai plus the other 2 guys in this break, Weffler and Baldwin, have gone super deep way too early in this thing. And have really suffered for it. As a result, they're quite exhausted. And Peloton had ridden pretty hard until recently, just because these guys hit exhaustion and finally backed off. But they've never had more than about a 2-minute, 20-second advantage the entire time here in the break today. Not much cooperation in the break. I've attacked and had to leave them behind, and I'm going to have to attack and leave them behind here again now, if they let me get off the front. Not really, no. The one thing I am wanting to do is claim the KOM points and get the jersey. We did go over the top of the Cat 2 first. And we come through first on that one, I think. Yes, we do. Or not. Baldwin has 12. I guess we went through second. Looked like we had overtaken both of them just before the line, given that last little bit of effort. Either way, we're at 2 minutes with the field. We're looking at a sprint finish today, so it's different than the profile, because the profile has it as a punchy finish. Could give us a chance. I do have my sprinters here, but they're not very good sprinters. Mark Hershey, of course, is here as freaking always, as he's in Continental Pro, and they seem to have, Hagens-Berman seem to have the exact same schedule as we do. Zerai has done most of the leading, so sitting on right now and getting actually a little bit of recovery in. These guys aren't complaining, at least not yet, and the reason for it is he's done more than half of the kilometers on the entire day. So I can get away with doing this for a little while here, and then we could go ahead and restart and rejoin now. Meanwhile, back in the field, let's go ahead and get water one final time. It's 30k to go, but we could use one more trick on that. All right, now we're starting to pick up the tempo, and because of the lifted tempo there for the last 45k or so, we are looking a little bit better. Coming up on that final climb, even though there's a little bump in the road on the way to the finish line, it's really not much. This is the one that will be the decisive, and you can see the field is definitely speeding up now. 7k to go. on the climb, 19K to go on the stage, and whoa, that happened fast. Man, we had a minute 50 advantage at the base of the climb, and they've been caught already. And Zerai was pushing harder than the other two were willing to commit to at all. Folks, it's time. We need to form up. 19K to go, but with a big descent for a good chunk of that. We're okay. Zerai's going to go first because of his all-day antics, and we're going to try to set about a 91 initially. Let me get the climbers out in front of him. And let's see, how are we looking on the sprint front? Arafane's the first lead out guy. Gibbons or De Villiers is getting better. He has leveled up as a sprinter, but he's definitely not a good climber yet, so we'll put Gibbons into that lead position. Battistella on the attack. Team's going to be forming up back here. Kudos for now is the one that's going to drag us up there. Burhi, no red bar. Zerai just setting a nice steady tempo here. He is the one leading it. And we're nearly over the top. This could just about put us in a position to get a few more KOM points for Zerai as well. 2.5K to go. And we have separation. Michael Matthews, Hershey, Gall. Shoot. I want to set up, but I don't want to set up because I want those points. Burhi. Okay, Burhi is the one chasing. Zerai, go as hard as you can to the finish. Because they don't want those points. You do. That's 18. It's a good start. Okay, now set up. Burhi. Closing that gap. Burhi needs to be replaced by Kudos. We'll put Burhi to the tail end for protection. Kudos is going to take over. Definitely don't need to have a 99 or anything like that. Zerai is toast, but we'll try to get him onto the tail end of this. The punchiness is now over. This is now setting up a sprint. We have a split in the field with 29 here at the front, so Kudos. Let's speed it up. We got to go catch those front four. Not a great downhill guy, so just push. Give me your 99. 6K. Everybody gel. Especially with the downhill, it's going to go by fast. And we've made contact with the front four. 33 at the front, and we've got a nice sprint train going here. There's that last little hill. Sprinters far enough down the line that they are not feeling the pain in this. Let's go ahead and get on to Mollebron. It's 2.9K. Arafane, as soon as we hit the top here, will sprint. 2K out. Can these guys handle 2 kilometers of sprinting? Slightly downhill, they should be able to. We've got an advanced position here. Yes, there you go. 1.1K now, so De Villiers. Oh, it's a right-hander. I thought it was going to be a left-hander. And sprint for all. De Villiers is better place. Mollebron is better place. We're going to get a podium, but it's not a win. It's Mark Hershey, of course. He's got like an 80,000 sprint and an 80,000 acceleration and an 60,000 hills rating. Also known as 80 plus in all three of those, or like a 78 sprint or something like that with an 81 acceleration. He's insanely good for this level. He's very good for World Tour level. But we've seen that all season long. The guy wins everything thrown at him. What we have done here is we have assured only a partial failure in just one stage. 2 guys on the podium, but no stage win. Getting that stage win may be elusive for us because even if you do beat Hershey once, there's 8 other guys to pick up the pieces. We managed to beat the 8 other guys. today, but couldn't beat him. There are one or two stages that are going to have some harder climbs, and I think they're going to be a better shot for us, but we did really well. The field is absolutely split. I think that's a good start to maybe our GC hopes, which is a great alternative to not winning a stage. And now with a stage podium secured, we're at least only looking at, 5 to 10% drop. So anything else to offset, and we're good, because remember, we have about an 8% cushion. Stage 2, final 30 kilometers. I swear, if you put a guy in the break, there's no chance of the break succeeding. But when you don't put a guy in the break, the breakaway certainly has a chance. That doesn't mean it's going to succeed, but it certainly has a chance. Today, well, that group is splitting up and that gap is starting to come down. But as we hit the final climb of the day, they're hanging in there. It's now just 4 riders, though, instead of 7. It's now a minute and a half instead of 4. What? The group just split. And there wasn't even a gap, but okay. Well, it's back together. Back together. Yeah, front group splitting apart. Got riders that just don't want to commit. But we'll get those positions back now. Final 14K. So we do want to form our train up here pretty soon. De Villiers just not wanting to recover his position very well at the moment. We're looking at a sprint for not Gibbons, but Arafane today. He's got a +5. We're seeing an attack. We need to respond. 11K. Definitely some fatigue with some of these riders. Kudos. He's ill. He'll be fine, but let's get Sarai. Let's get Burhi. I think Mullabron might just get a free pass and go to the back end. It's already just 11K to go anyway. That is still not enough. That's still only a 71. So Villiers is going to lead this thing out. Okay, getting organized quick because that little group pulling away. They're getting on with it. On to Zerai, Kudos, done. Already just 8K. And those 4 have not been caught just yet. Field splitting. Starting to get into a stronger position here. 5.7. Totally flat on the way in. On to Arafane. 3.9K, so we're down to our sprinters a little bit early. There's a front 5 here, but they will be caught. 2K. We'll round this corner and begin the attack. Arafane comes through, gets us to the front. Gibbons, 1K out. De Villiers. There goes Hershey. There goes Hershey, and another double podium. He's just too flippin' fast. Felt like today was a great day to have somebody in the break. Was definitely interested in, but it was one of those massive group attacks, gets pulled back. Massive group attacks, gets pulled back. Massive group after group after group attacks, gets pulled back, and then all of a sudden, the biggest group of all suddenly was away. 15 riders. Okay, massive groups, I mean like roughly 10 at a time were attacking. We're looking at 14 riders and a 4.5 minute advantage. Huggins Berman not chasing it down very well, but we're almost to the top here, so we are going to get most of our guys through this, which means we're going to have most of our guys set up for a potential sprint if the main group does get pulled back. Big if. It's 6.5 minutes. I don't think they're going to get pulled back in the next 54K. Kudos and Mullabron were right there comfortably at the front. The field splits. There's just 23 now. This is a big group that we're in right here. We were looking right at it. There was no hint of any danger of separation, but right as they rolled over the top of that, the group split up into like 6 different parts, as the sudden up-down just wasn't happening. But you can see it's now starting to pull back together. Gibbons, Arafane do miss out. And that's all 3 of our sprinters, by the way. We'll see if that group gets back on or not. But we're looking at 37K to go. We do need to get water one final time here. Let's send Burhi to take care of that. Let's send Gibbons to take care of that, though I think Gibbons might be punchier. No, it's because Arafane has a +4. But it's still 4.5 minutes to the front rider, so no guarantees that they are all going to get pulled back. It is a group that's getting smaller, though. You can see we are pulling some of these guys back. Tempo is pretty high. Definitely got a couple teams working hard to pull this. What we have left at the front is 4 riders 3 minutes ahead. 2 riders in no man's land and definitely coming back towards the group. 70 chasing them down and chasing them down pretty hard. Yellow jersey, of course, is still in the front group. Mark Hershey, no reason to think that he would have been dropped. This is now 30 chasing. Front group is actually dropping in size as 5 riders have gone out the back, and we're now looking at 10K. So Arafane and Gibbons are not going to make it back up here. They're much too far behind. It's almost 4 minutes. 9K to go. We're going to set this up at, I think, at about 8. Maybe about 7.5. There we go. It's enough riders to work with. But Zarai's +5. That's got to be our lead guy, right? And it is, yes. For the stage. Mullenbron for the overall. So we're going to want to go pretty late with Zarai. And we're probably not going to want to go necessarily on 99 just yet. With 2 guys, weak guys, to lead this thing out. 220. 220. They may not be caught, actually. And Kudos is done. 4.8. Gel and gel. Okay, down to our final 2 guys with the lead out. The gap could come down real fast or not necessarily. And we're looking at not necessarily. They're not getting pulled back very quick at all. We've got 1K to go. And the Breakaway has claimed the victory. So now we're just looking at the GC. And Hershey, of course, is going to win this group. No doubt about his ability to be that much better than flipping everybody. GC picture, though. Groups getting smaller and smaller. We were down to already just over 20 riders that were on the same time. Mullenbron is one of them. I had 5 guys that were in that group. Mullenbron's the only one of them that is still here. 48 riders at the finish line. So it's a group that's definitely going to be smaller, down to maybe 10 to 15 riders left that are going to be on same time. The 4 riders that were away all come in on separate time, but the one I want you to notice is Paul Rudis. Paul Rudis jumps from only having lost a little bit of time previously to second place, just 5 seconds behind Mark Hershey. So we do have one danger man. Otherwise, Mullenbron would be second. He is on the podium, though, just 14 seconds behind Mark Hershey. But Felix Gall, Michael Matthews are all still here. Grossschartner still here. Schoenberger, Arietta, Adria, Berwick, all still present. 15 are what is left, though. So 15 riders still on that ultimate same time. But really, the only 2... Ignore Paul Rudis for a second, as he was a breakaway rider, gaining time the backhanded way, backdoor way. Only 2 of the 14 riders in that front 15 positions have gained any sort of time. Everybody else who had gained time, everybody else who had podiumed on a previous stage of 3, all lost time today, or today's podium, the others didn't gain enough to get back in the mix. Definitely a good first 3 stages, but Mark Hershey has been at the front of whatever sprint group there was on every single stage. That's problematic with just a couple stages to go on whether we're going to actually get a stage victory. But right now we look poised to offset it with a podium position in the GC. So Mollebron looking really good to pull that off for us, and that would easily offset the partial negative of only getting a podium instead of a stage win. I think we are looking pretty good with 2 stages to go to achieve our objective this year, the big objective of doubling the increase in the finances, because our finances are tight and we're going to hit a point, and this could already be that point, August 1st, that we're going to start having to have increased salaries to retain riders. I've got quite a few expiring contracts. I'm actually only looking at re-signing 2 of them. I'm going to be letting some guys go, including some guys that are regulars at our first team, our team that we're taking to races like this, the Tour of Austria. So there are some changes coming to the roster, but I've got a lot of pretty solid prospects that I'm looking to sign this year, and some of the guys we've signed in recent seasons are really starting to emerge and come through, especially this year. Development's going definitely faster with the new staff that we have. That is going to do it for this episode, though. I'm Decathlon Gamer. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Have a good one. Be safe out there. Bye for now.